cut that I've been on, kind of what's going, talk a little bit about macro factor, all kinds of other stuff. So hang around if you want to discuss and talk about that sort of stuff. So, macro factor, initial impressions, it seems like it's a cool food tracking calorie app. It seems a little bit overwhelming at the beginning. There are a lot of little features here and there, and for somebody unfamiliar with a lot of this stuff, it might seem pretty overwhelming. For somebody that even is familiar with a lot of this stuff, which is, I feel like, is me, I've enjoyed tracking this sort of stuff over my life. I've done it quite a bit. Even so, it's been a little bit overwhelming with all the different things to look at. The cool thing about MacroFactor is that a lot of it is automated. After you set it up, it will just kind of start to track your expenditure. All you really have to do is put in your weight and your calories, and it'll kind of track your daily expenditure, which is how many calories your body's burning just doing nothing or whatever you're doing regularly. You know, if you're walking a lot or working out a lot, it'll take that into account. So it's useful that way, that it does a lot of things automatically, but there's just a lot to look at, so it can kind of feel overwhelming a little bit. It has kind of a check-in feature that every week or so it checks in and kind of recalibrates your program, so it'll adjust how many calories you're going to eat each day, just depending on how quickly you're losing weight. So I like that part of it. That's pretty sweet. You input your weight every day. It also has another cool feature where as you're putting in your weight, your body kind of fluctuates in weight naturally. So what it has is, it calls it the weight trend, but it basically tries to show you what your actual weight would be. So when you start losing weight, your muscles start to lose some like glycogen, which is, I don't know if it's necessarily just water, it's the energy within the muscles. So the muscles swell when there's glycogen in them. Anyway, your body starts to lose some of that as well. And so when you first start a really strict really strict calorie deficit on a weight loss journey, your body's going to lose a lot of weight initially, and then it's going to start to slow down pretty drastically, 2 or 3 days after. And so it's kind of cool that the MacroFactor app has that option where, or I should say, it's pretty cool that MacroFactor has the ability to let you see what your weight trend is. So even if your weight's kind of going up and down, it'll show you, well, even though your body weight's been going up and down, really your weight's about here. And so that's one of the cool features about MacroFactor. So there are a lot of cool little features. I don't know if it's necessarily worth $12. A couple of the other features that MacroFactor has is that it is really quick at scanning barcodes on food. So if you're eating something that's like frozen or in the fridge and whatnot, and has a barcode, then you can scan that barcode real quick, and it'll track, easily put in how many calories whatever the food or the drink that you're having is. So it's really quick with food tracking with some of those things. When you make something at home and your recipe has all kinds of random ingredients in it here and there, I don't think MacroFactor is necessarily the best. It has a cool tool where you can take a picture of whatever your food is, and it tries to estimate using AI how many calories are in that on your plate or in your bowl. But whenever I've done that, I've been tracking calories for a while now. I don't know, I've probably tracked calories for a year at this point in my life. I don't know, quite a while, on and off here and there, but I kind of know how many calories are in things. And so oftentimes I'll make a bowl that has all kinds of different ingredients in it, and then I'll try and use this AI tool that MacroFactor has, but it'll tell me it's like 700 calories, when in all reality it's not 700 calories, it's more like 500 or 400. And so I think, at least as of right now, that tool within MacroFactor is overestimating stuff. I think it's overestimating the amount of calories nonetheless. So if you really have no idea you're in something, it gives you a ballpark at least, but that's not necessarily super helpful. Hi. Thanks for chiming in. Double tap that screen. Double tap that screen. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're talking about weight loss and cutting weight, cutting fat. So the Macrofactor app is pretty nice that way. It has some really cool feature. Yo, what up? What's up, guys? We're talking about weight loss, calorie deficits, fun stuff. Double tap that screen. That helped me out a lot. Appreciate it. It has some cool features, but it seems like there's a lot going on within the app. So that's one of the reasons I love it. I don't personally think that the app $12 a month is what you have to pay if you keep it. But once my free trial ends, I'm going to be done using the app, and I'll probably switch over to something else. A nice, good free version of something. Because one of the main things I like about the Macrofactor app is that when you're tracking your calories, you can scan the barcode on stuff. But there are lots of other apps that do that as well. So, I mean, I'm going to find a free one. I don't think it's worth the $12. Anyway, that's kind of my general gist. That's my gist overview of the Macrofactor app. So now I want to talk about what it's like to be on a crazy calorie deficit. I've done lots of calorie deficits over my life, and in the past they've never been super successful, but as of late, as of this past year, they have been successful. Even after losing the weight and I'm done with the calorie deficit, I'm able to maintain it, which helps boost my confidence that I can kind of keep going, keep doing it. But this calorie deficit that I'm on right now is pretty strict. I'm on like a 700 calorie deficit, 700 or 800 calorie deficit every single day. The reason it's so strict is I'm trying to lose weight pretty quickly. I got a trip coming up in January that I want to have the physique that I'm going for. The other reason is I'm just tired of losing weight slowly, so I'm happy to lose weight faster. I will gladly lose a bunch of weight faster. Thank you, appreciate it. Every single day I'll keep going for sure. And the thing is, I'm really close to my goal at this point. I'm actually only like 8 pounds away from my goal weight. Once I get to 165 pounds, I think that's when I'm going to be at roughly 12% body fat, and that's my goal. So I got a DEXA scan earlier this year, and it put me at about 19% body fat. And so using those numbers that it gave me, I kind of calculated how many pounds of fat I need to lose in order to get to about 12% body fat. If I assume I keep the same amount of muscle, which hopefully I can retain my muscle on this calorie deficit. Appreciate everybody chiming in on that chat. So anyway, lost my train of thought. So anyway, I'm only 8 pounds away from my goal, so hopefully I can get there quick. If you're joining the stream, double tap that screen. It really helps me out. It means you like the stream. Go ahead and double tap that screen for me. I'd really appreciate it. Losing weight really quickly, it's hard. I think I've kind of gotten used to it over the years. Like right now I'm pretty hungry. But one of the benefits about feeling hungry is that when you do eat food, man, it tastes so much better. In the past, when I just let myself eat meals throughout the day, I never really feel hungry. Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky, you gonna catch me? What are you doing? Are you trying to lose weight? You're trying to catch me with weight? You're trying to catch me on my live stream? Whatever you're trying to catch me at, I hope you caught me. Hope you were trying to catch me on the live stream. I'm glad you caught me. I'm on a very strict calorie deficit, and yes, I for sure feel hungry. I'm like 700-800 calories every day that I'm on a deficit. So my maintenance is like 2,500 roughly, and I'm eating like 1,700. So yeah, it's like an 800 calorie deficit, somewhere around there. But the reason it's so strict is because I'm trying to hit my goal real quick, and in doing so, I do definitely feel hungry. But like I was saying, once you eat food, man, it just tastes that much better. So I think it's worth it. I keep losing my train of thought. It's because I'm driving and I'm trying to think through these things at the same time. And I get very distracted at times. Once I get my train of thought, I'm good to go, but sometimes I lose that train of thought. At least as of right now, in my calorie deficit, it doesn't feel too bad. I don't feel like my energy is super depleted, but I'm kind of supplementing that with caffeine. So caffeine's helping me out quite a bit. It kind of helps me feel more energetic, more alert, things like that. Which kind of offsets some of that energy deprivation that I might be feeling otherwise. At least the last time I worked out, I think it is pretty hard, or I should say it's harder than it normally is to work out. My body definitely just has less energy, especially within the muscles. I don't have much glycogen. I think it's the energy that's stored inside the muscles, and so my workouts are harder on a calorie deficit. If you're here, double tap that screen for me. That really helps me out. That means you like the stream. Appreciate it. So working out is harder in general when you're on that calorie deficit. Feel hungry, but food tastes better. At least when it comes to mental clarity, I don't think I've felt any difference necessarily. I don't think my ability to think through things is necessarily diminished, especially at work. I've been working on a lot of crazy stuff lately. I've had to think critically through a lot of different things, balance a lot of different tasks, and I feel like I've been able to do so pretty well. So I don't think I've lost any mental clarity or mental capacity thus far. I kind of feel like I normally do anyway, so I think nothing there has changed. But definitely a little bit less energy, and it's a little bit harder to work out. I guess I want to go to bed earlier. But I think a lot of that is just the mental load that I have right now with all those stuff going on at work. I'm mentally pretty tired, and then trying to do this as well. So I think that's one of the reasons why I just want to go to bed earlier. I feel like my sleep actually has not been the greatest the past few days, but I think I figured out a way to help me sleep better. I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to sleep, I breathe through my mouth a lot. Because I breathe through my mouth a lot, my mouth gets dry, and I even wake up with like a mild headache. And I've used nose strips, and that helps a good amount, but especially in the climate where I live, it's very dry, especially in winter. And so I think that because it's so dry, my nose gets plugged up and dried out at night. I think I'm gonna sleep with like a humidifier or something, because just recently I was a little bit sick and I was sleeping with a humidifier to just help soothe my throat, and it was really nice. So is that silly to sleep with a humidifier, or is that kind of cool? I mean, if it helps me sleep, I'll do it. It seems a little bit excessive to have a humidifier next to you every single night, but if it helps me sleep better and feel better, then it's worth it, right? All it is a little bit of water you put in a humidifier, no big deal. It's not like it costs money or anything. The light that turns on the humidifier is a little bit annoying at night. It's not, it always gives off light, and I can't really turn that off, but I don't know. I think it might be worth it to sleep with the humidifier next to me at night. Man, streaming is so weird. Every time I glance at the screen, it goes between like having nobody watching the stream, 1 or 2 people. But then just earlier, at random, I had like 17 people watching. Like, why did 17 people all of a sudden pop on the stream? I don't understand YouTube. If you understand YouTube, put it in the chat and tell me what YouTube is doing and how YouTube works, because I sure as heck don't understand it. Lately with my shorts too that I've been posting, it's weird. I feel like I don't get as many views up front with my shorts, but then later, they get crazy traction and do as well as they normally do. So it's like I'm putting out so many shorts that YouTube doesn't know what to do with them, but then once they figure out what to do with them, they get a good amount of views. At least for me, 1,000 views is a good amount of views on my shorts for right now. So I don't know, it's kind of funny to me that happens. Talking about weight loss and calorie deficits, I'm on a very strict one where I'm losing like 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds every week, and it is a lot. I've lost like 6 pounds thus far, and I've only been doing it 2 weeks, so I guess technically I've lost about 3 pounds every week, which is a lot. But again, I don't know how much of that is actual fat that I've lost versus just glycogen being depleted out of my muscles. And so hopefully some of that weight I'll also gain back, but only in the form of muscle when I'm done with the deficit. So for everybody else out there, if you're wanting to do a calorie deficit and lose some pounds, lose some weight, I wouldn't recommend doing one so fast. In fact, when I first started out and started to have some success with losing weight, you got to start out easy. Just do a small calorie deficit. I mean, for a lot of people, even start at just maintenance, right? So you're probably in a calorie surplus if you've been gaining weight over the past year or years or whatever it may be. I would just start off with going to maintenance, or even easier if you want, and just start tracking how many calories you're eating, and then reduce it by 400 calories. And then after you do that for a couple weeks or whatever it is, a week or two, then you could reduce it even more until you're at maintenance, say. And then after that, you can reduce it even more and be in a slight calorie deficit of only like 200 calories below maintenance every day or whatever it is, and then just maintain that for a while. And I think that's by far the better way of going into a calorie deficit and losing weight, because if you lose too much weight too quickly, you're very likely going to rebound. I know from personal experience, that's what I've done, where I restrict my diet so crazy, and then after doing that, I'm like, oh flip, I miss food, I miss the candy, I miss all this extra junk that I was always eating, and then you just go back to it and get all the weight back, sometimes even more weight than you started with. So at least for me, if I was starting a calorie deficit and I've never done one before, I would definitely start just on the lighter end, be easy on yourself, and then slowly ease into it. And I wouldn't even start, these are lessons I learned, wouldn't even start weightlifting or doing any kind of exercise in addition to your calorie deficit when you start. If you're just trying to lose weight, sorry guys, I got disconnected there for a second, my bad. It says I'm live again though, so hopefully I'm live. So if I had never lost any weight before and I were to start losing some weight, losing some pounds, then I would start with either doing exercise but no calorie deficit, or start with a calorie deficit but don't start doing exercise. Do one or the other and start easy. I know that feels hard. It's kind of funny because starting easy feels hard to a lot of people because they're like, I just want to have abs, or I just want to have the physique that I want now. Like, I don't want to wait, so I want to do it as quick as I can, and then maybe I'll just go to maintenance or something like that. But that's kind of the wrong mentality, where if you've never done it before and you haven't built up that resilience in your mind to do these things, then you got to start off easy. I know it kind of sucks to hear sometimes. I didn't ever want to do it that way, but that's ultimately the way that worked for me, and I think it's the right way to work for the majority of people. Start with just exercise and do that for a while till you can exercise regularly, and then you can add in a calorie deficit. Or start with a calorie deficit but no exercise, and then once you've been in a calorie deficit for a while, then you can add in some exercise to the mix. But don't do all of it all at once. That's too much change, and you're gonna get sore, and you're gonna probably give up. That's another little tip or tidbit that I've learned over the years, is that even when I start, if I'm starting a brand new workout routine, I don't even do like 3 full sets with this specific exercise. If it's the first time I'm doing an exercise, I will only do like 1 set. Because it is a new exercise. You're going to get insanely sore if you go 3 hard sets with heavy weight, whatever it is, right? If you do something like that, you don't ease yourself into it, you'll get crazy sore. And then if you get crazy sore, you're not going to be able to do exercise again in a day or two. So again, you got to kind of always ease yourself into it. That's kind of the overarching lesson that I've learned over the years in my fitness journey, is that you definitely got to ease into it. I know it kind of sucks because you want to just get fit fast and then be done with it, but man, you gotta take it slow if you want to succeed. At least that's what's helped me succeed, is starting off really slow. And at this point, I've been doing it for so long that honestly, this very crazy calorie deficit that I'm on, it doesn't really even bother me that much. I don't even think it's that hard necessarily. I've committed to it. I'm close to my goal, so nothing's holding me back. I'm going to achieve my goal, and I think everybody can get to the point that I'm at now, wherever you're at, and I hope and I wish that everybody can, if that's what you want. Calorie deficit. What changes? I'm going to talk about, let's see, what changes have I noticed being in a crazy high calorie deficit? So I'm eating very few calories, right? Only 1,700. My maintenance calories, which is how many calories you burn day to day, is like 2,500 or so. So I'm on an 800 calorie deficit. If you're joining the live stream, please double tap that screen. It shows that you like the live stream, and it helps me out a ton, so I appreciate it. So in the calorie deficit, my muscles have definitely gotten smaller visually. Hopefully I haven't lost muscle mass. If I have, hopefully it's only a little bit of muscle mass. That kind of is what happens when you are in a calorie deficit, especially a more rapid calorie, especially when you're trying to lose weight more rapidly and you're in a high calorie deficit. You can lose some muscle mass, so hopefully I haven't lost too much muscle mass, but we'll see once I get down to maintenance. I'm hoping my muscles visually kind of pop back up, and then hopefully I didn't necessarily lose too much muscle mass. One of the biggest ways to prevent muscle loss when you're in a calorie deficit is you got to continue to weight lift, you got to continue to resistance train. And so I'm still doing the same resistance training that I've been doing. I'm still weightlifting, doing all my same weightlifting workouts. I like to do it 3 times a week, and they're very intense when I do them. I try to go to failure like at least on 2 of the 3 sets that I do. So I'm pushing myself quite a bit, and I think it's working. I don't know. I'm trying to do less volume, but more intense volume, because I don't like the amount of time that I've been working out every week. I want it to be less. I don't like when my workouts go to like hour 15, hour 30. I prefer them to be more like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And so I've adjusted my workout routine in this last kind of mesocycle, and I've adjusted it so that I'm doing harder sets but less of them, and I think it's working just fine. I have yet to have learned if my body reacts well to this type of training. I might need to crank it back up volume-wise. We'll have to see here, but once I get back to maintenance calories, once I achieve my goal weight, I'll just go back to maintenance calories, and I'll see if oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I'll see if my muscles can pop back up, and hopefully I didn't lose much muscle mass. Visually, even if I'm losing muscle mass, it looks like, even right now in the calorie deficit, in my eyes, I'm pretty used to my body. My abs are definitely poking through a lot more in this calorie deficit, this weight loss journey that I'm on. And even my arms, even though they seem far smaller, I think that's because of the glycogen reduction in my muscles. I think my muscle mass has hopefully stayed the same. I'm hoping that when I go to the maintenance, those muscles will pop back up and fill with glycogen, and hopefully I haven't lost too much of the bicep size. But I'm really excited for this calorie deficit and this weight loss journey, because hopefully it's one of the last times I have to lose fat that I didn't gain on purpose. So after I lose this fat that I'm working on right now, get down to that 12% body fat, have the physique that I'm looking for, after that, I'm probably going to switch to maintenance for, I don't know, probably a while. Or if I do want to bulk up, I'm probably going to have a very, very minor bulk. I don't want to gain a bunch of fat back and then have to cut it again. I'll gain back some fat slowly, but it'll be under my control that way. Where probably only like 50 calories above maintenance, so I'd only gain like a pound a month type of a thing. A very, very slow bulk is what I'm going to do after I achieve my goal weight. Because I want to grow my muscles, I want to grow in size. To make sure that my muscles are getting enough food, you got to have enough calories in your body, you got to eat enough. And so I'll for sure be at maintenance and probably slightly above, anywhere from like 500 or anywhere from like 50 calories to 100 calories above my maintenance, so that I will be purposefully gaining weight, but very slowly, so that hopefully that little bit of extra calories is going 90% to my muscles and only 10% to fat stores. So I've listened to a lot of muscle building videos. I've listened to a lot of Mike Israetel, Jeff Nippard, a bunch of other guys. I couldn't list their names to you, but that are also frequently on those channels as well. I've listened to probably, I don't know, 100 hours of workout content on YouTube. With my job, I drive a lot, about an hour and a half every day, and so because of that, tapping the screen, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I've listened to a lot of content, Mike Israetel, Jeff Nippard, all those guys, and listening to them, I have learned some things. Honestly, you don't really need to listen to all of it. In fact, I want to make a video where I kind of break down all the key learnings that I found from listening to those hundreds of hours of YouTube videos. And honestly, it boils down to like 3 to 5 things. Once you know those 3 to 5 things, I think you can be successful. And you can even be successful if you don't know those things, but those 3 to 5 things help out a good amount. They make a substantial difference if you're trying to build some muscle and lose some fat. So I want to make a video, so keep an eye out, subscribe to my channel. Because here in the near future, I want to make a video about all of the top 5 things or 10 things or whatever it is. I'll look at my list of notes. Most important things to know when you're trying to build muscle and lose fat. I think it'd be a useful video. Again, I've listened to like hundreds of hours of content, and I've been doing this for only a year, but I think I've learned a lot, and I think it'd be really helpful to anybody watching to kind of see my quick summary of what those top learnings are. Oh man, excuse me. One of the benefits of live streaming helps me stay awake while I'm driving, because all I'm doing is talking to the camera, right? I'm not really paying attention to my phone necessarily at all, but I get to just talk to the camera. Talking definitely helps me stay alert, stay focused, so I can safely drive. It's kind of funny because really all I'm doing is talking to myself, but I mean, there are people watching, so I guess I'm not technically talking to myself, right? I'm talking to somebody out there. Somebody out there's listening, or might even watch this video later in life. You never know. Another one of the videos I want to make here in the near future is I've taken a lot of supplements over the past year and a half, 2 years, and there are a lot of supplements out there that I don't think do diddly squat. And there are a few supplements that I know do something. From my experience, I've noticed what they do. Like I've taken a supplement that's supposed to help with digestion, and man, it helps with digestion. I can literally feel the difference. And there's another supplement that helps with joint comfort. And that supplement, when I take it, man, my joints feel fine. When I stop taking it, my joints start to ache from my weightlifting. They kind of get a little fussy when I do heavy weightlifting sessions and things. Whereas when I take this supplement, I don't really notice that. And there's even some spots in my body that have chronic aches and pains in the joints and muscles. And when I take this supplement, it helps alleviate those pretty drastically. So I want to make a video about the different supplements that I take that I think actually do something, and hopefully that's useful to somebody out there. Hello. Bracken. Hello, Bracken. Thanks for dropping a hi in the chat. Double tap that screen for me, everybody, and like this stream. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. So if you're listening and you hear me, go ahead and tap that screen or give me a like on the stream. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see. I'm trying to create top-notch fitness content here. Stuff that's very captivating, very entertaining, or very educating. There's so much nonsense out there, and even some of my favorite guys to listen to, lately they've been making more and more nonsense out there. So I'm trying to make less nonsense stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll just keep making more nonsense stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna fall into the trap of making nonsense stuff, but I'll try not to. That's one thing I'm trying to figure out. I want to have a fitness related YouTube channel, but I gotta have some kind of unique angle, right? Like I gotta have something unique about me. And obviously my personality is kind of unique, but I want my content to kind of be unique or have some kind of an angle. Like a Will Tennyson, he kind of brings the humor to the fitness world. He kind of brings this vlogging style to the YouTube fitness community. Whereas like a Mike Isertel, he's usually just sitting in his chair talking to the camera, which is kind of his style. And then you got Jeff Nippert, who kind of brings, in my opinion, some of the highest quality fitness YouTube videos out there. He probably has some awesome editors, and so they make these very fancy visuals and whatnot. He's been really successful with what he does it, and he uploads like few and far. He uploads very frequently on YouTube. When he does upload, it's a very, very high quality YouTube video. And hopefully I can be that way in the sense of the videos I do upload, I really try and make as high quality as I can. I have a lot going on in my life, so I can't necessarily spend tons of time to make these crazy high production videos, but I try to make them as high of quality as I can. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of niche, what kind of angle I could have, you know, something special that my YouTube channel would have that others don't. And some of the content that I create is unique to my channel. I haven't seen that anywhere else anyway. Or I think, yeah, so I'm trying to make unique content. I think I might be more on the short side of things. That I don't think there are that many YouTube channels that actually primarily focused on the shorts. So maybe my YouTube channel will be more focused on the shorts, because there are all kinds of fun YouTube shorts, short video ideas that I have in my mind, but when they're very easy to make, you can make lots of them and have fun with it. Whereas long form videos, typically, depending on the video, take a lot more time in editing and everything. And I kind of enjoy making the shorts, just these short little fun clips, fun videos. So maybe I'll make more of those videos. Maybe I'll make a lot more shorts and a lot less long form videos. Maybe that'll be kind of one of the reasons why my YouTube channel is a little bit different. On YouTube, there's this weird hype feature that they've rolled out to some people, but not all people, that I think I really need to try and get on the hype train. So whenever that feature rolls out to everybody, whatever I would need to do to try and get hype, I'm going to try and get as much hype as I can, because I don't really care about how many subscribers I get. I just hope I can help the viewers that do watch my stuff in some way, whether that's making you smile, entertaining you, or help educating you about fitness type stuff. Hello, person from Russia. Thanks for joining the live stream. Double tap that screen. Give me a like. Appreciate it. Man, it is really wild, isn't it? I'm just a random dude in my car live streaming, and apparently somebody across the world in a totally different country just hopped on and dropped a comment in the chat. It's a wild world we live in, folks, where all across the world people can watch the same stuff. People chime into different videos to whatever it is. That's pretty wild, man. And I know I don't have that many viewers, but that's just crazy to me. The few viewers I do have, that there are people watching in different countries. That's pretty crazy. Oh man. What else? What else do I want to talk about? Double tap that screen, double tap that screen. Drop some ideas in the chat of what I should talk about. I want to talk about something fitness related, but I'm trying to think, what do I want to talk about? I only have like 10-ish more minutes of this stream before I'm going to close out the stream. I'm going to talk about what it's like, or how much effort it requires to build muscle. So from my experience, when I first started weightlifting, I severely underestimated the amount of effort it requires to build muscle. I would go in and I'd lift some weights and I wouldn't want to break a sweat. And I'd be like, all right, I did like 10 of them, so I should be good, right. And that honestly probably doesn't even really build muscle. If it does, it doesn't build much muscle. You gotta really push yourself in order to basically communicate to your muscles. Your body will then adapt to the stimulus. You'll stretch your muscle, you'll be trying to lift a crazy amount of weight, or you'll be close to failure on a lighter weight and you can't go anymore. Well, that stimulus, that action, creates a response in your body that effectively tells your body, your brain says, hey, whoa, if we're gonna have to keep doing this, like, we gotta send some more cells over to your muscles. Like, we gotta build some extra stuff over here. Like, holy cow, we gotta adapt to this. This is crazy. We can't do this. So if you think about it like that, it makes more sense that you can't just weightlift casually and expect to grow muscle. It has to be very intentional. With your weightlifting, you're gonna have to go to failure or close to failure. I prefer to go to failure, which just kind of guarantees in my mind that I've reached my limit for that set. Excuse me. So I always try to go to failure for at least one of the sets of my workout, but lately I've been trying to go to failure for 2 of the 3 sets that I usually do for every exercise. So I think going to failure is the best way to guarantee you're really stimulating that muscle, and hopefully your body will then signal to that muscle, hey, we got to grow. We got to send some more cells down that way and grow those muscles. Because there's a couple of ways that the muscles actually grow. So muscles can grow more dense, there can be more fibers, and then the fibers can start to swell as well. And I don't know on a molecular cellular level how that really happens, but there's other 2 ways that your body starts to adapt to the muscles into growing. It tells them, hey, you got to grow. But anyway, when it comes to building muscle, it can't be casual, and casual ain't gonna do nothing. You really got to be pushing yourself when you're weightlifting, and you got to push yourself hard. Obviously, if you've never really weightlifted before, you can start just by going in and doing the motions. But then after you've been doing that for whatever, a week or 2 or something like that, you can start to really push yourself at least to one set and go to failure, and then just keep doing more of that. And really, that's the gist. If you can do that, do whatever exercise you're doing and get close to failure, if not to failure. I always just go to failure because it kind of guarantees that I've reached a limit there and I'm really stimulating my muscle. Then you're going to grow muscle. The hard part is the consistency. That's the big part that everybody lacks. Is almost everybody has weightlifted once in their life, but if you're consistent with it, that's the way you actually grow the muscle, and 99% of people probably aren't consistent with weightlifting. So that's the hardest part, is being consistent. And as I mentioned earlier in this stream, start easy, make it harder and harder as time goes on, but start easy. The funny thing is, starting easy sounds hard, but it's the path to success in my mind. Like, that is the path to success. You've got to start easy, and then you get harder and harder and harder. Go and watch my long form video, the 3 reasons how I finally achieved abs after years of failure. Because that video really outlines exactly what I'm talking about in a very succinct way. Man, I'm using all kinds of words that I don't usually use. I don't know where those words are coming from. But anyway, I appreciate everybody that has chimed into the stream. Thank you for watching. If you watched for 1 second, thank you. If you stayed for the whole stream, thank you. I don't think anybody did, but that doesn't matter. I appreciate you nonetheless. I'm about to end this stream. Thank you again to everybody. Double tap the screen, like it, subscribe to my channel, because I want to create some awesome content for everybody going forward. So thank you, I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one.